Hello, my name is Steve, and this is Cooking with Bobby Joe. We're going to make a drool-worthy human treat today that could be made sugar-free, but we got the non-sugar-free pudding mix.
Bobby, you want to tell us about it? Is Dad cooking in your kitchen? Huh? Tell us about it. I know. Is he cooking in your kitchen? Well, you know, sometimes he's got to do the cooking because Mommy's not feeling too good. Come here. What do you think about Dad cooking in your kitchen? You got any thoughts on it? Huh? You got any thoughts on it? Tell me about it. I know. But he's going to do it. He's going to clean up and everything. He's pretty good in the kitchen.
Okay, we have our ingredients. We have our graham cracker pie crust. We have a cup and a half of whole milk. We have one package of softened cream cheese. And we have chocolate instant pudding and pie filling. That's not or pie filling, it's and. Because with semantics, it can apparently do both at the same time. You can use different flavors. A cheesecake flavor would be lovely. There's also a vanilla flavor that would probably work well with this one. We only had one of those and we have 2 chocolates. So therefore, we're doing chocolate. We also have a snazzy little bowl scraper thing that ultimately gets licked after you're done emptying the bowl. And since it's probably going to end up being in the video, we have our dog food crock pot where we have rice and chicken that we use with our dog food because we don't have normal dogs. We have spoiled dogs, and I know nobody else does that. But we have that, so we have to maintain a certain level of spoiledness, not unlike other people's kids. So I'm going to add the cream cheese to the mixing bowl on low, and this little rubber spatula may come in handy for that. Ooh, a glop. Okay, look at that. I like hitting stuff together. Okay, I'm going to put that on low. Okay, this thing is fancy.
There ain't nothing fancy about this.
Oh, it was fancier than the one we had growing up. Now,
Let me get on the other side of you.
as you can see by looking at me, I don't have my glasses on because there's a reflection property here that it's probably something scientific. So I'm going to turn this on low, which I assume is 1. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
That's 1. It's turning.
Then you just want
So,
to spin your. It doesn't spin your bowl.
why doesn't it do automatically?
It does once it gets on high.
Oh.
Because it's not a fancy smancy KitchenAid or anything.
It's fancier than the one we had growing up. Now I'm going to slowly add the milk to it. So this is me slowly adding milk. I probably ought to turn that puppy. It doesn't matter if you turn it clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on if you're looking up or down at it. I don't know how I'd be looking up at it, but okay.
I'm going to turn it up a little. Maybe 1 notch.
I'm up to 2. We're cruising now. Okay.
You may want to do 3 because you're still going pretty slow.
Oh, that's kind of like how I drive. Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm getting that off the side there.
Turn it up a little. That's good. If you go any higher, it's going to splatter the milk everywhere.
Yeah, we don't want that. Okay.
So you want to mix it all together good. Scrape the bottom and the sides of the bowl as you're going.
Seems like I would be scraping it more like that.
However you want to scrape it.
Yeah. I'm a novice highfalutin mixer operator. So, do we consider that well mixed?
I guess. I'm not over there, so I can't really tell.
Okay.
I'm assuming
So
you.
now I'm going to add my chocolate, which I mainly identify this by colors because, like I said, I don't have my glasses on. Okay. Oh. I'm going to turn that.
Sorry. Couldn't stand it.
Yeah. It's hard to believe she's impatient. Okay. Let me throw this away. Luckily, the garbage can is not too far away.
Turn it up some.
Oh, we're practically warp speed now. Oh, it's feeling thicker and looking kind of like cottage cheese. So doesn't that just get your appetite going yet? Okay. It's got a good texture to it, but it'll be even better once we get another thing of chocolate, because chocolate, like bacon, is something you can't have too much of. So most of my recipes that I'm better at involve chocolate and or bacon.
You can always add bacon to the top of it.
Hey, that's an idea. It's thickening up a little bit. Now the real shame of this is, since it's chocolate, we can't let the dogs lick the spatula as part of the pre-wash. But I am willing to step in for them and take one for the team.
That's good of you.
Yes. Okay. It's kind of wanting to turn on its own, I think.
It will once you get it going enough.
See what I did there?
You need to scrape the sides of those bowls.
Well, I am. I'm going to add that other thing of chocolate.
Thought you were fixing to throw the whole box in there.
Well, it said add one box. It doesn't say open and empty contents of box. See, I'm kind of reading into this.
You're not even reading the recipe, so how do you know what it says?
You got the recipe on your phone. And you're my executive producer. Okay. Now I get my little super duper scraper thing. What'd you say it was called? A spatula?
The rubber spatula.
Rubber spatula. Okay.
Alright. Not to tell you how to do things.
Well, that's what you're here for. Oh, executive producer one.
But you can take that and run it all the way along the side of it instead of just going straight down with it.
Well, I know, but I'm trying to get it all toward the middle so it all goes into the blade thing.
Yeah, this is when we may need to add a little more milk. It just depends on what the consistency is. But
Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of milk.
no, hang on. Alright, you want to get that spatula and you want to get in there and get all of that mixed in good. Because it's just, there you go. You want it all to mix.
It's all pretty much, did you see that? It kind of grabbed it from me. It's kind of like it's possessed. Of course, chocolate possession. This is going to be airy and light.
Alright, scrape the sides of the bowl good.
You want me to scrape down or across?
I would scrape across personally, but that's just me. There you go.
How long does this have to go before it starts like turning into rubber?
I think it's probably a good consistency. I don't think we're going to need to add more milk because you want it to be thick because it's a pie. I usually add between 1.5 cups to 1 3/4 cups. What are you doing?
I'm getting it off the top of the thing.
You know,
Am I making you nervous?
you are. I could see chocolate splattering all over the kitchen.
Well, then I'll have to lick the whole kitchen. Or at least scrape it with my spatula and lick it.
Are all the lumps out?
If you're talking about the mix, yes. If you're talking about me, I've been kind of lumpy for a while.
I wasn't talking about you.
Okay.
I like your lumps.
Okay.
Alright, you want to turn it off. Alright, then you want to lift the thing up on the back, that side button there. Let me hold that before you get it all over the top of the cabinet.
It'd be the bottom of the cabinet.
Yeah, bottom of the cabinet. Alright, then you're going to pull those, I can't think of what they're called.
Blades?
Whatever.
Mixing blade things?
COVID brain is really bad. I cannot think of words anymore.
Okay.
They just slide right out.
I know. I was trying not to drop them with the
All right,
wrong end.
then you take them and you kind of hit them together to get all that stuff into the... You don't have to hit it on my glass bowl. Hit it over towards each... in the center. Smack it on it. There you go. You're still... Do them sideways. Okay. I would show you how to do it, but I can't because I'm videoing. But all right. I know you want to probably leave some on there to lick your beaters. Lick the beaters. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay. I got that.
You just beat the beaters.
Okay. That's in there.
All right. Now you want to open up your pie crust.
Yep, that's a good idea.
You probably should have done that first, but...
Well...
I'm going to move this back a little.
We may need that.
Yeah, that'll be the lid. You have to take that off and
Okay.
rinse it.
Do we need to paste any egg? Oh, we're not cooking this, are we?
No, you're just going to dump that into that.
Okay.
Sorry, I moved it away from the side of the counter because I can see this going in the floor.
Luckily, we don't have a problem dropping stuff in this house. We might need a little more milk just to make it a little bigger, thicker. I mean, more of it.
Well, that's why you have whipped cream.
Oh.
To go on top.
Okay.
And I usually mix the whipped cream in it, but my whipped cream is still frozen. So we're just going to fill the top part of it up with whipped cream. You having some issues there?
Nope.
Do you need like a butter knife to scrape that off with?
No, it's coming off.
It's really coming off.
Are you in a hurry?
I am not. I just need to sit down.
Oh, well, I'll about to try to be considerate.
How do you like your new rubber spatula?
Oh, this thing's awesome. It makes a man feel like a man. I think we discussed the gender issues last time. But it's kind of a manly green.
It could have probably used a little more milk, you're right. I usually do between like a 1 3/4, but you're the one that's going to be eating it, so.
That's probably true.
You just need to spread it out. Not smash it, spread
I'm
it.
trying to spread it without the... See how the pie crust is moving?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say this needed more milk.
Well, we know next time. Which I usually do 1 3/4, but I wasn't sure if that would be too.
Hey, I saw that.
It tastes good. When I can taste of it.
Is that good enough, or do we need a...
Here, you hold the camera and let me do it.
See, that's what I was afraid of right there. It's elastic.
Hold the camera a second.
She's got more of a baker's touch.
And if it comes apart, it's just graham crackers in your pie filling.
I know, but I'm worried about the pie filling sticking to the side of the aluminum.
Huh? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be good enough. Then
Pause the video because
does it taste okay?
taste is good. Texture is a little rubbery.
Needed more milk.
Mm-hmm. So there may be a part 2 to this video. Okay, we had a slight change of plan or direction here. Didn't like the consistency of the pie filling / pudding. It was a little thick, a little rubbery. So what we're going to do is, and notice I haven't licked this yet, although it was tempting because I like that green lime color with the chocolate on it. We're going to put the pie filling and the pie crust into the mixing bowl, mix it up on low because we don't want the pie filling to become like a dust, although it is graham cracker goodness. So we're going to put that in here. We're going to mix that up, add about a half a cup of milk to it to make it a little more fluffy. And then we've got another pie crust, voila, that we're going to pour it into. And also, as an added bonus, because would it be Steve cooking without bacon, we are making bacon over here because we're going to crumble bacon up and put it on top of it. So it'll be a bacon chocolate pie. Because, I mean, seriously, can you have too much bacon or chocolate in a dessert treat? I say no. Put a quarter on the metric side. You know, we were supposed to all be doing metrics by now, I thought. I think that was what we learned in 6th grade, which would have been in the mid-70s for me.
I thought you were doing a half a cup.
Man, that's about a half cup.
Oh, well, that's a
Got a
2
little-
cup. Okay, that's a
It's
2
got a
cup.
half thing there. Okay, I'm gonna put the milk back in the fridge. Y'all can oodle my pie goings ons. Okay. You can zoom that in and see that's a tad over a half cup. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in here. And notice the width of the pie is wider than the cup. So I'm gonna have to bend this a little bit, which doesn't matter because the pie crust was a little crumbly anyway, which yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, now if I was my mother, I'd be saving this, and when we move into their house, we would have all kind of crumbly, should have been thrown away pie filling things in there. But love you, Mom, if you're watching. Okay, I washed these off after I licked them because I know inquiring minds are concerned about that.
I'm going to pause this and I'm going to let the dogs out because they need to go out.
Okay, put this in here on low. I'm going to hold the spatula thingy, turn it up on one, turn it that. I'll go ahead and add the milk. Oh, this is, oh, it's going to work out, people. Are both of them on there?
Oh my goodness. You get ahead of yourself before I could explain anything to you, but you go ahead and do your thing. You're going to need more than that, though, as far as milk.
Really?
Well, you may be okay. It's starting to.
This is calculated measuring.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to take my inhaler. Alex. I'm not even going to say the word.
You probably couldn't find the word. I know how COVID brain works with you after dealing with it for about a month. Okay.
Yeah, you need more milk. You need more something. It's going to be lumpy because it's got those graham crackers in it.
I anticipated that. That's why I was just adding a half a cup at a time.
A half a cup of what? Milk.
I told you to watch that.
Well, I'm the videographer here.
Well, you're my assistant producer. Oops.
Don't put that back on there until you wash it.
Wash it. I would like to point out that bacon is smelling really good.
How much did you just put? Another half cup?
Another half cup. Yeah.
Oh, that might be a little too much, but you know, you're going to do what you do.
But that's another cup of ingredients, which means we have another
yeah, it is
another cup of filling.
Not going to fit in the pie crust this time.
Well, if there's extra, guess what? Got to be samples. For all of our donors who want to donate money and get a sample.
We got donors.
Well, you got to build the brand, babe. You got to build the brand. That's almost like a tongue twister teaser. That looks pretty good, actually. I know you want me to scrape the sides.
You do it your way. You're the chef. This mixer is going to be a pain to clean, though.
That's what hot water's for.
Well, it's not just going to be the beaters. It's going to be the mixer itself.
I've already wiped it off once.
Oh, no.
I didn't say I wiped it all the way off. Okay, I'd say that's a pretty good consistency.
I'd let it mix a little longer. Get a little thicker. How's it taste?
Pretty good. I like the little crunchy
I don't know
of the
about
graham cracker part.
I was going to say, I don't know about the lumpy. But this is your recipe. You have created something all new.
Well, it'll be the salty of the bacon to go with the sweet of the chocolate to go with the lumpy of the bacon and the graham crackers. So I think we got a
What are you going to call this pie?
the graham bacon chocolate goodness pie.
The
There's
Graham Slam.
the graham slam.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble with Denny's.
Because theirs is called Graham Slam, not Graham Slam.
Yeah, but if it sounds like it, they might claim issues.
I wish you'd quit doing that. That drives me crazy. Oh my gosh. You're going to tear up the rubber spatula. No, I'm not.
I mean, it doesn't say rubber spatula till I say it says rubber spatula. It doesn't have a brand name on it. It's like Craftsman. It didn't say Craftsman until you put it to the test.
Scrape that bowl down some. You need to turn that mixer up.
I don't want powdery graham crackers. I want lumpy graham crackers.
Alright, I'm not going to tell you how to do it. Yeah, I am, but
Well,
you're not even cooking this. You're just mixing.
I know.
And a messy mixer you are.
Well, that's why I'm wearing an apron.
No, you're wearing an apron because there's a muddy dog paw print on your shirt.
Wow. This is truth in baking. That's more than you'll get out of most of the media. I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
I'm going to hit the off. I'm going to raise it up. Let it drip.
Let everybody see how dirty you got my blend.
I'll fix it. And then I'm going to flip my bacon.
Well, they've already seen you cook bacon, so I'm not going to film that again.
Okay, so we're doing the pre-lick, pre-rinse part of getting the stuff off the beaters, because that there's probably a euphemism in there that I'm just going to walk right past. Okay. That one's kind of dirty. You know I am about getting my hands dirty. Okay. Okay.
Look what you've done to the underside of my blender. I mean, it's all up in there. Yeah, I'm going to need somebody to donate me a new blender here.
Don't listen to her.
Let me just show you. You got to get mean with that. You're so gentle. Dainty.
I'm a dainty flower.
Don't do it on the side of the glass. Do it toward.
I'm doing it gently.
You're going to break my glass. I'm fixing to take it from you and show you how it's done.
I'm sure you are. You know. Okay, we have the pie crust. And we have a whole bowl full of chocolate graham goodness. And this is going to be me. Oh, it's got a much better consistency. I may not have added enough milk. But don't tell my wife that, because she thinks I added too much. And so far I haven't dropped it. Okay. I don't think we had graham crackers to add to it anyway, so this is probably turning out to be a pretty good oops. Okay. I'm telling you, I think that's about the right amount.
I may have read that milk thing wrong. Because, you know, I don't read things right now.
Blame it on the COVID. That sounds like a song.
It's probably 2 3/4 cups.
It was actually 3.5 cups for 2.
Yeah, but I never do everything that's in the pie filling box when it says do
Well,
this much.
it said it was going to be thin.
Yeah, but you want it to be thick.
Yeah, I know.
Not too thick, but thick.
I'll fill it home and thick. Okay. Now,
What are you doing?
I'm scraping it off of here with the bottom side of this, and then I'm gonna push it off of there. See how that works? See how it just kind of sticks to it and falls off when I shake it? Okay. So that's everything for the pre-rinse cycle. I think I need to get me a little smoothness going here.
There ain't nothing smooth about that pie.
I know, but it's got graham goodness. It's going to have bacon goodness and a little whipped cream goodness. I don't know if we'll need, I guess we will need the whipped cream to kind of fill in around the edges.
The whipped cream is still thawing out.
That's okay, my bacon's still cooking.
He actually got my mixer clean, y'all. How's it taste?
It's drool worthy, but too bad the dogs can't have it. Yeah, I think keeping the mixer on low for the little graham cracker chunks, that was a good choice on my decision making process.
Well, that's good.
Tastes really good. You know what we probably could have done? We probably could have put Pop-Tarts in it. Tell me that wouldn't have been good.
You know, this was supposed to be a sugar-free pie. That we didn't have sugar-free pudding. And then you want to add Pop-Tarts to it.
At least it's not maple flavored bacon. That'd have too much sugar for both of us. Okay, I've washed the trusty lime green spatula thing again. So I'm gonna get the whipped cream out of here and dab it on top. The whipped cream still might be a little frozen, but
It'll thaw out.
yeah. Okay, I think before I try to spread that around, okay. Yeah, that's still a little lumpy.
You want to let it thaw out a little longer?
I'm gonna let it thaw out a little bit, but while I'm doing that, I'm get my bacon. Put that in my bowl. Yeah. See that? She can't taste it. We're wasting bacon on the COVID.
I can taste a little today.
Oh, well, that's good. Have you another little piece if you want to take a chance of getting smacked.
I ain't worried about you smacking me.
Yeah, I know. You're
Might
like
be.
the dogs.
Might be reversed.
Yeah, well. Okay, I don't think I have too big of chunks in here. There's some kind of big chunks. Okay. So we got that pretty well broken up. Those will be good decorative chunks of bacon to put on top of it. A couple minutes has probably helped the whipped cream become more creamy and less.
You may want to put more on there.
I am.
I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Continue.
I'm just spreading it out a little bit.
Spreading the love.
I'm sure I'll be getting some directions on how I can do this a little better.
You just do it your way. I'm going to be quiet.
I'm not talking about from you. I'm talking about from the other critics in the peanut gallery.
Oh.
Just saying, I love all the help I can get. Because...
Just constructive criticism.
Oh, I need it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just making
They're
people...
probably nicer about it than I am.
You're actually doing pretty nice since you got this COVID head trauma.
Has it changed me to a nicer human being?
Well, that and between the sermons on meekness, I almost don't recognize you. But hey, that's a good thing.
I've been working on meekness.
I know, you're doing well. I'm working and, well, I'm still trying.
That is actually looking very professional.
The only difference is professionalism probably means I do it quicker. And we know that I don't do anything that quick. But, get a little they're on the wrong side of the... Okay.
This was supposed to be a 5-minute pie.
Yeah.
Everything we do, everything Steve does, ends up being about an hour video.
Well, there's worse things than a bacon, chocolate.
A Graham Slam bacon chocolate pie.
Yes, because you're into the titles. I'm into the goodness. Okay. Gotta find me some whippedness to put there.
Some wickedness.
Whippedness.
Oh.
I can architect the language with the best of them. Okay. See, it's a little thin there.
Okay, a little more whipped cream.
I am. Trying not to get the icy part.
Oh, yeah, it's still frozen.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the creamy. Okay. Now.
Oh, I'm fixing to turn it sideways again, and we know how the video does when I do that.
I'll tell you what, they do a good job with this Cool Whip. They ought to market it.
I could have shown you how to make your own, but I figured that would have made my 5-minute video an hour. But
okay. So. Okay. I think that looks rather tasty. And of course, I am licking the bacon bowl. Don't you think I wouldn't? That's some good bacon. I don't care if it did go through China. And there you have it. I might need to put that little piece over there. Boy, that's almost picturesque. Okay, so we have our pie done. It's been an hour. We've had supper, which was really good. It was a soon to be presented video with jalapenos, chicken. I topped mine with cheese, and it was really good. Okay. I know this just looks tasty. So, let's get a strategy here for cutting me a piece of pie. Think about right here. That might have been a little bit big.
I think it's gonna fall apart.
Well, that's what the bacon, see, with the bacon on top, you can put the finger on the bacon and it won't get as much whipped cream on your hands. So that's another strategic reason to use bacon. Okay. Yeah.
Probably needs to sit in the fridge longer.
Well, I don't know if it was that or I needed to go down a little further with my cutting. But it's going to end up mixed up in my belly, so I don't mind it being a little sloppy here. I know some of y'all think I probably need to be a little more concerned about presentation, but I didn't get that gene. Oh, well, there's the rest of my crust. I like the graham cracker mixed in with it anyway. So, if you want to, that'll have to be licked here shortly. If you would like to know what it looks like from the inside, there you go. So let me put the lid back on this and put this back in the fridge. I'm trying to talk loud because the dishwasher's running because I'm a clean as you go guy. And we loaded the dishwasher, or I loaded the dishwasher. I think I had it. Some stuff she said she felt like washing by hand, so that presented an opportunity to put more things in the dishwasher. So, but anyway, so there's our graham slam bacon chocolate thank you ma'am pie. Taste testing. I'm going to start at the end because unlike pizza where you start from the point, on pie you can start with more crust. Oh, that bacon adds a nice little contrast to the sweetness of the Cool Whip and the chocolate pudding pie filling. Yeah, this is good. That bacon, oh, really, it's probably more like having bacon with a piece of pie, more than it is a piece of pie with bacon sprinkled on top of it, because bacon is, you know, it's natural, comes from pigs, you know, pigs give their life for bacon and it is a well spent life. Yeah, this is good. I give this a double thumbs up.
Is it drool-worthy?
Oh yeah. I could I could hold it over my head, but my tongue would beat my brains out trying to get to it. We don't want that. That can get sloppy. So, anyway, this passed. Thank you for watching. God bless and take care. Product. This is Graham Slam bacon and chocolate, ma'am. And if you notice, the counter behind me is clean because of YouTube magic. I was able to clean as I was going. And voila. Thank you. And remember, you can find us on the blog, cookingwithbobbyjoe.wordpress.com. And we're kind of navigating away from Facebook for a little while because we're participating in some type of, they deactivate our account and pay us money like that's a real thing only in America. And we'll have a presence on Parler, Parler. I think it's Cooking with Bobby Joe, COOKINWHWITH BOBBIJO. You might want to spell check that.
There will be a link at the end of the video.
Yes, the magic of links. So there you have it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you want to know how to score a tabletop baseball game, you can check out my channel because that's basically about all I have. Anyway, thanks a lot and have a good evening.